What I expect the Minister of Education to do is immediately find out what he can do, or he should do something immediately about the situation. Probably engage the caterer and see what promises he can make to her and how soon he can pay the caterer to enable her continue serving the students.
Also coming up, National House of Chiefs condemns LGBTQ plus activities and mobilizes opposition across traditional areas.
LGBTQ plus is evil. We, the chiefs of Ghana, have been inundated by calls from our people to make an open declaration concerning the threat by LGBTQ.
Still to come, President Akufo-Addo pays tribute to late author Ama Ata Edu as a literary icon in state burial service.
Like many, I had heard about the news of the death of Ama Ata Edu with great sadness and sorrow. The Unity of Writers has lost one of its greatest members, one who will be extremely difficult to replace.
In CNR Business. Ghana Standards Authority vows to safeguard consumers through market standards enforcement.
Consumer protection is number one for construction materials specifically. The Standards Authority realized that people trying to build go and buy concrete products. They buy pavement blocks, they buy concrete blocks. And what we noticed is that the standards of most of them were not up to scratch.
Grateful that you stayed on with us. Let's get the details now. And in our first story, the Ghana Education Service has shut down the Binduri Community Day Senior High School in the Upper East region following protests by students over lack of food. Citi News has learned the caterer stopped cooking for the school over non-payment of arrears owed her by the government. Citi News checks reveals that since May 29, 2023, the caterer stationed in the school has not been able to cook for the students. Citi News' Christopher Kevin Asima has more in the following report, read by Citi News' Anne Shirley Ziu.
With a population of about 600 students, the Binduri Community Day Senior High School in the Upper East region has been closed down and expected to be reopened on Monday, July 17, 2023. This was communicated to the students and school authorities by the District Director of Education in his visits to the school, following some agitations by students who boycotted classes to protest and express their displeasure about the inability of the school's administration to provide them with the one hot meal daily for some time now. Students who spoke to Citi News said they were even compelled to eat the same menu for a whole week before the caterer stopped cooking. As a result, some of the students abandoned classes with the reason that they could not come to school to study on an empty stomach.
I don't understand why it is only one school in our district and then they cannot provide food for us. Please, this one, it is monumental disgrace. Get control of this one. We don't know what we are doing. You get inside the class. Master is teaching. Nothing is entering. From 7:30 up to 3:30. Is it easy? This one, we don't even know how we are going to describe it.
The reason why we are outside here but not in classes, our school, they have stopped cooking for us. They stopped cooking for us. That was 29th May. Up to date, they haven't started cooking for us. We have sent it to the authorities, but there is no feedback. That's the reason why we are out here, but not in class. And since we came to this school, there is nothing like house vest. We don't know the reason why they are not giving us house vest. When we go out, we don't look like our colleagues. We don't know the reason why they are not giving us house vest. And secondly, our uniform. Since we came come to this school, when you come to Bindusek, you have to get to Form 2 before you will now get classes where. We don't know why it is like that. And we don't have how this is Friday wear. We are using our outing as Friday wear. So must we use outing as Friday wear? And when we are going home, we should wear that one. They are supposed to give us 2, but it is 1. We don't know the reason why it is 1, but not 2. We don't have exercise. The government told us that you provide us exercise. But since we get, it's 1 notebook. It's 5 exercise. We don't understand why it's 1.
My concern is that since we came here, we are no more needles again. We want our uniform, no toilet for us. Anytime we want to go to school, we always go to the bush. Whatever, if something happens to us, what would they say? But if there is no uniform,
Speaking during the protest against the happenings in the school, some of the students said they had been denied food for more than a month now.
I've meant to come and to provide food for us because the caterers, even if they are calling them, they are not answering our calls. You call them up to 10 missed calls, nobody will answer you.
I'm pleading on the government and the DC for this district that they should provide us our food. They should cook for us and provide us our food and our house blessings.
I want to stand on behalf of the students and talk. As that we come to this school, we never see anyone like MPDC and district. As all of them, they are here. Even we have heard that they went to Maka. Up to now, we didn't see them. And we have to stand today and tell if we didn't get our house first, food, we are going to stop school. We need dormitories.
The Binduri District Director of Education, Mr. John Gagui Soka, said although the protest was intended to register their concerns, it was important for them to calm down as it would be addressed.
We are compelled, if you want to continue this way, to ask that you go home because the caterer has informed me that she's organizing to come and start cooking on Monday. If you can, yes, but okay, well, please listen. You are saying that it is not only the food. So are you ready to go back to school? Then we can sit around the table, discuss the issues concerned, and begin to address them. All right. So, we would, if that is the case, we would have to advise ourselves to request that you stay in your homes until we are able to address your issues for you to come back. You are here in your own interest to develop yourself academically. So if you are ready to go in for us to have classes, that will be very fine with us. But if not, we are deciding that you go home and then you hear from us. Yes, you hear from us when the caterer resumes, where we are sure you will have your hot meal every day. Then we will invite you back. Meanwhile, during that period, we will be meeting with the management of the school to see how we address the other issues.
Meanwhile, final year students are currently in school writing their mock examination in preparation towards this year's West African Senior Secondary School Certificate Examination, WASSCE.
Let's bring you more on this because the minority in Parliament is urging the Minister of Education to take steps at ensuring that the Binduri Community Day Senior High School is reopened for academic works as soon as possible. The closure of the school stems from the inability to provide meals for the students since May 29, 2023, thereby impacting negatively on academic activities, attendance and overall school functioning. The following report has more details.
The Minority Caucus on Wednesday requested Parliament to probe a secret tape which revealed an alleged plot by the government to remove the Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, from office as part of efforts to rig the 2024 general elections. The Speaker of Parliament, Alban Bagbin, on Thursday proposed the setting up of a 7-member special committee to investigate the leaked tape.
We need some of you who are very good in IT and other areas to submit your talents and skills to the committee for this work to be done. So I propose that we establish a committee of 7 members. 7 members. Is that okay? 7 members. Leadership will nominate 3 from each side of the House, and we'll get a technical person to add to make it 7. That's why I'm calling it a special committee, so that you investigate this matter and then submit your report. So I await the nominees from the 2 caucuses, 3 each, and then a technical person will also be nominated to assist the committee in its investigation and report to the House. I so direct. Leadership, please, within 1 week, we should get the names submitted. Because I know you have to meet your caucuses and make some consultation within 1 week.
Parliament on Thursday debated on the Criminal Offences Amendments Act, which seeks to replace death penalty with life sentence. Now, during the debate on this amendment, members of Parliament expressed varied opinions about the abolishment of death penalty.
Various efforts, including stakeholders, death penalty, UK, Amnesty International, other stakeholders and CSOs have been calling for the need to abolish the penalty. Mr. Speaker, in these engagements, we have had several consensus. For example, a political consensus. A political consensus because the then administration of the NDC began this process, and as soon as this bill was laid in Parliament, the current government, led by His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, also has openly endorsed the position of the bill. And this year, the President voted at the UN in favor of the resolution to end the use of death penalty. Mr. Speaker, apart from the political consensus, we also have religious consensus, because the Christian Council and all the other religious actors have also given position on this that suggests that there was a need for Ghana to move away from the use of the mandatory death penalty. Mr. Speaker, we also have judiciary consensus.
This is a lopsided argument. It has no weight. It has no merit. And they did not balance the argument with the trauma. Look, how are murders committed in this country? Some of them. It's unfortunate that some of our colleagues are not here, who have lost their loved ones through murder. 2 a.m., an intruder comes into my house. He climbs a ladder. He goes to look for a ladder, then comes into my house, climbs up, breaks open my door and window, then kills me. Or if before then, he would have raped my wife, my partner lying with me. While I'm looking at it, he's raping my wife. Then, as if that is not enough, he takes my life and he kills me. Then this man has human rights. He has a human right. I have no human right. You should come and take my life within 30 minutes. He has translated me to the next world. I have no right. And he has a right to live. What right? What right, Mr. Speaker?
Definitely we need to leave this so that it will be a deterrent to others. Speaker, both Muslims and Christians, we all believe in the eye for an eye. But in certain instances where you will see that, or you are very much aware that if I kill somebody, I will still be alive. People end up ending people's lives or shortening people's life with the excuse that if I end your life, I wouldn't be killed. I think that for the fact that no president or for a while we have not been able to execute anybody, we should still leave this in our books. We should leave it because it will serve as a deterrent to others. We should leave it because society has responsibility to look, or an obligation to look after the welfare of its citizens.
After extensive consultation, the committee is of the view that continuous retention of the death penalty in the criminal statute
makes a mockery of justice and the mere fact that for almost 3 decades, presidents of the Republic have found it unnecessary to sign execution warrants is an indication that Ghana does not need the law.
In an interaction with Citi News, the ranking member on the Education Committee of Parliament, Peter Nochu Kotoi, urged the Education Minister to take steps at ensuring the reopening of the Binduri Community Day Senior High School as soon as possible.
It will affect the students. So what I expect the Minister of Education to do is immediately find out what he can do, or he should do something immediately about the situation. Probably engage the caterer and see what promises he can make to her and how soon he can pay the caterer to enable her continue serving the students.
Reporting from Parliament, my name is Ni Ayukwe Okain for Citi News.
In some other stories, the National House of Chiefs has described LGBTQ+ activities as evil and abominable and declared a strong opposition to such acts. Now, members of the House of Chiefs are courting support from subjects in their respective traditional areas to oppose LGBTQ+ activities in any form. Citi News' Ashanti regional correspondent Hafiz Tijani reports.
Parliament recently adopted a motion for the passage of the anti-LGBTQ bill into law after it received support of all 275 members of the House. Even before proponents of the bill laid it before Parliament, there was a strong opposition from religious and interest groups who insist LGBTQ+ acts have no place in the Ghanaian society. The chiefs, who are custodians of the land, are adding their voices to the subject matter, and members have unanimously opposed the act. President of the National House of Chiefs, Ojiahoho Yao JB II, speaking at a meeting in Kumasi, insists traditional rulers will continue to oppose such acts to uphold the country's traditions and culture.
LGBTQ+ is evil. We, the chiefs of Ghana, have been inundated by calls from our people to make an open declaration concerning the threat by LGBTQ. We, the chiefs, as the custodians of culture, the customs and traditions of our people, wish to state categorically that our traditions and customs recognize that our Creator, God, or Allah, and called variously by different religions, created man and woman to occupy the earth and procreate. There is therefore only male and female gender and no other gender. The Christians' holy book, the Bible, Muslims' Quran, and our traditions and customs affirm these facts. It is therefore an abomination and against all our cultural values as Ghanaians to allow others to import into our country anything contrary to the above values that we cherish or we have cherished over the centuries.
Chieftaincy and Religious Affairs Minister Stephen Asamoah Boateng says LGBTQ+ is alien to the country's values and will not be accepted.
It's alien to us. And now you said it rightly, and I'm opposed to it myself. I've said so on countless occasions, and I can tell you, Nananum, our religious leaders are also opposed to it. So we do everything to protect our tradition and make sure we don't buy into any tradition that is alien.
The president of the House of Chiefs also attributed the widespread destruction of the environment by illegal miners to the lack of political will by the government to stop the menace.
There is always a surge in galamsey activities during election years. And I'm happy our minister is here. During election years, both the government in power and the opposition look unconcerned during election years, as governments, both current and past, do not demonstrate enough political will to deal decisively with the menace during election periods. The fight against galamsey must be inclusive and intensified.
Ojiaho Yao JB II, touching on the IMF deal, called on the government to ensure the program is not detrimental to local businesses.
We are pleading with government to implement the program and its conditionalities in a manner that creates better conditions for businesses and the vulnerable people living on the margins of society so they can thrive and blossom.
The House of Chiefs also called on political parties to engage in a decent campaign ahead of the 2024 general elections.
Family members of Victoria Dapa, who was allegedly murdered by her police inspector boyfriend, Ahmed Chumesi, have expressed disappointment following the adjournment of the case during the first day of trial at the High Court in Kumasi. The case was adjourned to July 26, 2023, after the suspect told the court his lawyers were not available. Ashanti Regional Correspondent Fatia Minu Ibrahim reports.
26-year-old Victoria Dapa, also known as Majwa, was allegedly murdered in cold blood on 20th April 2023 in the night at Edum, few meters away from her house. Her boyfriend, Inspector Ahmed Chumesi, who some eyewitnesses alleged was the culprit, was subsequently arrested by the police. The family of the deceased says it has since been a difficult period for them. The committal process started at the Asquarimampon District Court, where the premises was always charged as a result of the interest many people have generated in the case, with some family members of the deceased causing commotion at the court's premises on some occasions and attempting to attack the suspect, thereby prompting the police to call for reinforcement. The generated interest in the matter kept growing. The accused on the first hearing certainly admitted to killing the deceased, but said it was not his intention to kill his lover. But after making a U-turn and telling the court that he is not guilty, this surely paved the way for the trial itself, as the case was transferred from the Asquarimampon District Court to the High Court. There was high anticipation, particularly among the deceased family members who were hoping to see the case starting at the High Court on a high note. Their high hopes appeared to be dashed when the case was adjourned within a short period. The matter was adjourned because the accused told the court that his lawyers were not available when asked about their whereabouts by the presiding judge. This thus compelled the court to adjourn the case to 26 July 2023. The family of the deceased is worried that the manner in which the trial was adjourned could delay the proceedings, which could ultimately delay the justice they are seeking for if the trend continues. Speaking to Citi News after the court proceedings, the family expressed worry at the way the trial has started. Nana Aduberima is the head of the family.
This today and 13th. The 13th no almost a nondu. Me abusu penny be drew her and sana no trebo. And sana court kwani bi. Ye betra say ade almost nondu no. Ye be drew her non pepe na onipa no ejarakem. Ya sabre na busuafo a ye twa hia yi dodo no a eniha. Eno ya ade a me di ho ya wo ye pa. Say o ma she date na o ma she time 10 o'clock. Ya dodo no beti asem. Na afi be drew her na busuafo nyina beba na ya ka asem na wie no. Manti ase nanso abanyasem woye de na wakoka na yede onipa be gina daka mu no yibusa ne se ne lawyer wo he wo se lawyer ni ho lawyer tu kwan ade no so ha me ne ma usua na ye lawyer no esore kasai ka se na ye be ne den to busa na che se judge no ebusa da fofora ebeti bi atu ahye da fi se ne lawyer ni ho enti ne lawyer no esre Emma judge no busai kwan ya so a obenya date nti date no mo share 26 of this month ya ena judge ne stress omomode an say be do 26 no na lawyer wo ho so lawyer na ma ibegina so na yaka asem no sesei Oma me yantie se omoboko break ama just October no ha no beba. Na percent ka asem no eba so ntentem. Na so de adure de se omoko break bo so miensa na mo sa ba de a na che se asem no e che no.
The family is appealing to all relevant stakeholders to expedite the process to ensure justice is served as early as possible.
Debia me kasa me se asem no e cha na edo. Enti mesre se yempese ombehye mbre se yebedi asem na beduru baby no yebeduru ho no na asem na amaso no ebe ya busua na ya ya busua ye fam de se de be ya dede anabasa basa bia manti yi ma ado sie no enti yempese basa basa besi bia enti no yesre atentere ne emrantem abusua na yedi ya opa na mom se onipa na ya adwen se onfa no lawyer ma yesre ya asem no omonka ebi se ontimi nyi asem no moso saa Ghana no say lawyer ma ya yantimi ntwen yesre.
The case has been adjourned to 26th July 2023. For CNews, Fatih Amin Ibrahim, Kumasi High Court.
You're watching the City Newsroom here on City TV. Still to come. 2 passengers are in critical condition, while 55 others have sustained minor injuries after 3 vehicles were involved in an accident at Gumwa-Ochereko Junction in the Central Region. Stay with us. We'll be right back with the details and more.
Today he has been extra sweet, and the way he looks at me.
I have done everything by the book. It's on. Hey, but I have to get some condoms, Charlie.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
This is the neighborhood I'm having my twins.
The very reason why I took it for us. See, the price is very good and it's spacious to contain all of us. Alphabet City. Now I'm a landlord. I don't pay rent. And my Airbnb business is booming.
To me, Pamini, bank and I'm not Alphabet City. The pension pay me 20%. The payment plan, I want to share my just very smooth.
This is a healthy place to raise our families and creating peace. Come on, be my neighbor.
Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Alphabet City is a classy and peaceful gated community in Sakumono. We have 24/7 top-notch security and high-quality access roads. We have 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, 3 bedrooms and 3 washrooms with boys' quarters. We have 3 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, all with beautiful kitchens and kitchenettes. Call Alphabet City on 0240-111119 or 050-44-99999. Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
You're welcome back. Let's bring you some more stories. And 2 passengers are in critical condition, while 55 others sustained minor injuries after 3 vehicles were involved in an accident at Gumwa-Ochereko Junction in the Central Region. The following report by our Central Regional correspondent, Calvis Tete, has more.
The accident occurred in the early hours of Wednesday, July 13, 2023, after 3 vehicles, including a foreign truck loaded with goods, were involved in an accident at Gomoa-Cheko Junction. 2 passengers are in critical condition, while 55 others sustained minor injuries after the accident. The vehicles, a U-turn bus with registration number AS 850-21, an articulator truck with a foreign number plate 349HF01, and a Honda CRV with registration number GW 970-20 were all damaged. Police sources say all passengers in the U-turn bus were from Ho in the Volta region, heading to Ivory Coast. Speaking to the media, driver of the Honda CRV, James Ni Ayi, indicated that the articulator truck engaged in wrongful overtaking, resulting in the accident. James Ayi says the U-turn bus hit the rear of his vehicle after engaging in a wrongful overtaking, resulting in the accident.
If you are crying, you say, "Oh, if you're Ocheko." The meaning is a trailer be unity. Why overtaking? It was a metro man. Na obetrim. Nti metwen ya na me hu se the metia ne bam. Bus no abebo me car na echi. Nti car no swingi wo kwan no so. And I could give other end. There was another trailer which was coming. It was no deny. So no engineer can mini ready. I don't know. It's a mechanical ball ne fuel tank no engine. Into passenger side they didn't honor. We say the honor there's a scratch the echo ball trailer no engine. Me and my wife. You see na they say moja every day when him.
Some passengers on board the U-turn bus who survived the accident spoke to the media.
Plenty people are sleeping. I don't see anything. Everything are saying, Jesus, Jesus, God, God, God. I wake up. I see the car in the bush. You see? Donc, we plenty people, you don't see anything. Accidentally, you don't see anything.
This is the very spot where the accident happened earlier this morning. Earlier on, there have been subsequent accidents on this stretch, bringing to the conversation again the calls for the dualization of this particular stretch where I am standing. Calvis Tete, Citi News, Winneba.
The Greater Accra Regional Director of the National Disaster and Management Organization, NADMO, Archibald Kobina, has been sworn in as the new Municipal Chief Executive MCE for the Ayawaso Central Assembly. He replaces Alhaji Mohammed Kwe, who resigned due to ill health. Citi News' Daniel Odro-Mensah has more in the following report, read to you by Wilma Obubisa-Coleman.
16 out of 17 assembly members within the Ayawaso Central Municipal have overwhelmingly voted in favor of the nomination of Archibald Kobina as the new chief executive. This follows the referendum held by the Electoral Commission to confirm the nominee as the new head of the Municipal Assembly. The confirmation comes after the outgone MCE Alhaji Mohammed Kwe penned a letter indicating his resignation to seek medical attention. Speaking after the swearing-in ceremony, the Greater Accra Regional Minister Henry Quartey expressed his readiness to work with the new MCE.
He started his politics in this constituency, a former regional organizer of the New Patriotic Party, I'll say outgoing Greater Accra Director of NADMO. He has paid his dues. I know him to be very hardworking, very affable, very caring, and very committed, very dedicated and focused. And so I know that the collaboration between himself and I will continue the work that the MCE, his predecessor, has left.
Mr. Kobina thanked the assembly members for their massive vote and added that he will prioritize revenue mobilization while he takes office.
Expectations of the residents and the appointing authorities can be met. So, like I said, I'm looking at certain areas. Critical among them is revenue mobilization, how we're going to rake in the necessary resources and materials that we need to prosecute the agenda of the municipality, and subsequently other areas like sanitation, education, and all of that. They are top priority. Youth, issues of women and children are very, very important. We need to look at how we do gender mainstreaming, climate change, and all of that. More important, I think I mentioned about livelihood empowerment. The youth are expecting more. Agriculture is also an area that we will look at. Urban agriculture, and see how best we can improve on it and make sure that, there are petty things that we can be doing in our homes, within our surroundings, that can support, the food needs of the people within the municipalities.
On his part, the outgone NCE, Alhaji Mohammed Quay, assured his successor of his cooperation to realize his vision for the assembly.
And it's not a new MP, a new MCE. He's an old guy, regional NADMO director. He has been an assembly member for 2 occasions here in Ayawaso Central. So it's not new. So we work together, and we shall still work together.
You're watching the Citi Newsroom here on Citi TV. Still to come. President Akufo-Addo pays tribute to late author Ama Ata Edu as literary icon in state burial service. We'll tell you more shortly. Do stay with us.
Yes, we are back. Wines of South Africa, Rosa, is back in Ghana for the biggest wine show ever. Date, Saturday 15th July at the Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Time, 7 p.m. sharp. Wines of South Africa Grand Tasting Event 2023 is proudly brought to you by Wines of South Africa and John Williams Consults Ghana. This event is sponsored by Ghana Export Promotion Authority and Best National Bank. Partners, South African High Commission, Accra, South African Airways, and Labadi Beach Hotel. Media partners, AmayalDebra.com, Citi FM, Citi TV, Voyage Afrique Magazine, and Ovation Magazine. Don't miss out on this extraordinary event by securing your tickets now at wosa2023.eventbrite.com or call 0553-271-032. Remember to come celebrate with Wines of South Africa, Saturday, 15th July 2023, 7 p.m. at Labadi Beach Hotel, Accra. Wines of South Africa, welcome to our world of discovery. Strictly by invitation and reserved for 18 years and above.
Finally, anyone can become a household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You Go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated values, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. You Go Flip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Welcome back. Let's bring you some more stories. And on day 4 of the decongestion exercise being conducted Like the Accra Metropolitan Assembly AMA, the task force were met with resistance by traders at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, who were asked to vacate the pedestrian walkway. The traders, who depend on their businesses for their livelihoods, expressed their grievances about being deprived of their source of income. Now, despite their complaints, the task force proceeded to evict the traders as part of the decongestion effort aimed at enhancing vehicular and pedestrian movement in the capital. There is more in this report.
The decongestion exercise forms part of the Operation Clean Your Frontage program, which aligns with the ongoing efforts to transform Accra into one of the cleanest cities. The operation, now in its fourth day, has faced significant opposition from traders at Kwame Nkrumah Circle due to their reluctance to relocate. The traders argue that they have no alternative place to conduct their businesses, thus leading to their resistance. In response to the concerns raised by the traders, Gilbert Ni Ankra, the head of public affairs at the AMA, assured that the decongestion exercise is not intended to displace the traders, but rather to enhance their working environment.
I was telling the traders personally when I meet them that the intention is not to displace anybody, but if they look at what they are doing with respect to their sanitation practices, it is not anything to write home about. You see traders drink pure water and they leave it where they sell it. And if you ask them, they will tell you people will come and pick them up. And we keep on telling them that you don't have to expose the waste. If you feel the waste you are generating is too much, we are advocating for the 3 R's. Reduce the waste you generate, recycle, and then reuse. So we want everybody to understand that we are in the era where the circular economy, you cannot just throw the waste away. You can use the waste. So we're telling people, any waste that you generate, ensure that you bin the waste. Put the waste in the bin. Don't expose the waste.
He further stated that the AMA will take the concerns of the traders into consideration and address them accordingly.
Let me state that the Tiptoe Lane area, as I said, technically doesn't fall within the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. We are doing this exercise jointly with Ayawaso Central as well. So we took concerns of whatever happened there, and I can assure you that if you saw the mayor pass by, I can assure you that whatever concerns that they have there will be addressed, and will have a very peaceful exercise and a working environment. As I said, our intention is not to displace the informal sector or anybody working within the sector. They play an important role, and the Assembly acknowledges that fact as well.
The Accra Metropolitan Assembly would like to assure all traders who have been affected by the decongestion exercise that they do not intend to displace them, but rather to ensure that their workplace and surroundings are kept clean. For Citi News, my name is Enosafo.
President Akufo-Addo has praised the late author, Professor Ama Ata Edu, as a literary icon whose work resonated with readers worldwide. He highlighted her substantial contributions to the development of Ghana and the continent at a state burial service which was held in her honor at the forecourt of the State House in Accra. There is more in the following report filed by Citi News' Rachel Engman and read by Hawa Idrisu Mustafa.
A state burial was held for the late renowned Ghanaian author, Professor Ama Ata Edu, at the forecourt of the State House in Accra. The solemn ceremony was graced by several dignitaries, including President Akufo-Addo, former President John Mahama, as well as family, friends, and sympathizers. Tributes poured in from loved ones, leaving all present in a state of deep reflection. The legend, who died on Wednesday, May 31, 2023, aged 81 after a short illness, is widely known for her immense contributions to African literature and also one of the continent's most influential feminists. Speaking at the funeral service on Thursday, President Akufo-Addo eulogized the late Professor Amma Ata-Edu for her significant input to the development of Ghana and the African continent.
We're gathered here to celebrate this morning. Exceptional woman, knowledgeable teacher, famous poet, public servant, flawless storyteller, outstanding writer. She possessed an excellent mastery of the English language. Like many, I'd heard about the news of the death of Amma Ata-Edu with great sadness and sorrow. The community of writers has lost one of its greatest members, one who will be extremely difficult to replace. She was my contemporary in the 1960s at Ghana's premier university, the University of Ghana, Lagos. Even though she was 4 years older than me, she was someone with whom I enjoyed friendly and productive relations. Through her work, she made a tremendous contribution to the development of our country and continent and expressed so many of the feelings about our fate as Ghanaians and indeed as Africans.
Flag bearer of the NDC, John Dramani Mahama, shared his fondest memories of how the late playwright Amma Ata-Edu motivated him to write.
We've all known her as kids growing up, reading her works, but my closest encounter with her was when I published my own book, my first coup d'etat, and she came for the launch and then also visited my house where we held a reading party. And she encouraged me to write again, but I've not been able to put pen to paper yet. And so we are all sad at her passing. She was a very strong character and stood for women's rights and so also for the African personality. And so we wish the family condolences.
Kina Likimani, daughter of the late author Amma Ata-Edu, paid an emotional tribute to her mother.
It was a peaceful morning and all was right with my world. A young man comes walking up William Amu, descends the driveway and stops by our patch. He's holding my mother's handbag. Instinctively, the child knows that something terrible has happened. Handbags are carried by mothers leaving the house. When your mother returns home, you rush to relieve her of the handbag. You are happy to see her, but you also know that a toffee, a chocolate, a sweet something lies in the bag. The young man says, Mommy has been in a car accident and is on admission at the Cape Coast Regional Hospital. Mommy's car's brakes had failed as she came down the Infantipim Hill, and she had swerved into a wall to avoid running into pedestrians at the foot of the hill. Her right leg was broken in 3 places. An operation and then almost a year of recovery. In the years since, she would use crutches, canes, walkers, and then finally wheelchairs. My mother's need to write cost her something great.
This is the Citi Newsroom. Up next is CNR Business with Nashika Caesar.
Hello and welcome to CNR Business. My name is Nashika Caesar. In the news, the Ghana Standards Authority says it will continue to enforce market standards to safeguard consumers. According to the authority, it is intensifying surveillance to ensure products being sold are of good quality and meet specification of customers. In an interview with Citi Business News on the sidelines of the inauguration of a joint committee with the Engineering Council on Industry Standards, The Director General of the Standards Authority, Professor Alex Jodu, emphasized that his outfit would work strictly to check the proliferation of substandard goods by prioritizing certification in the manufacturing sector.
Indeed, consumer protection is number one for construction materials specifically. The Standards Authority realized that people trying to build go and buy concrete products. They buy pavement blocks, they buy concrete blocks. And what we noticed is that the standards of most of them were not up to scratch. They will not last and they could cause damage. So what have we done? We have started certifying cement products. So if you buy a GSA certified block, you know that this is certified and it meets the requirements. It's not too much water or too little sand or too little cement. It is according to the standard that is required to be used. The same for concrete products. Have we removed the ones which are not certified on the market? The answer is no. We have been talking and engaging with the local government service because the production of cement blocks goes on all over the country. And we are hoping that through our collaboration with the local government service, we can use local authorities to enforce what they would ordinarily be enforcing.
Now, as high food prices continue to make Ghana's inflation rates witness marginal increases, players are pushing for collaborative efforts to address inefficiencies in the supply value chain to ensure fair food prices in the country. The following report has more.
Inflation for the month of June 2023 in Ghana increased marginally to 42.5% compared to the 42.2% recorded in the previous month. The main drivers of this inflationary trend are food and non-food items, which account for 54.2% and 33.4% respectively. Locally produced items witnessed an inflation rate of 35.9%, while imported items had a higher inflation rate of 44.5%. To this end, actors in the food industry want government to enforce actions against unfair food prices caused by anti-competitive practices. These players in the sector say will also help tackle bottlenecks undermining the livelihoods of small-scale food producers. This came to light at a Consumer Voice for Fair Food Prices Forum organized by the Ghana International Trade Commission and global advocacy group Consumers International, aimed at finding a lasting solution to the worrying trend.
We deal with unfair trade practices, and this includes unfair trade prices, which affects local production, in the terms that if local producers are unable to produce at fair prices, they are unable to keep up with the markets, and therefore we lose them. They close shop. You have imported, like you are bringing in tractors or you are bringing in fertilizer, and the cost is high. It does affect the cost of production.
On her part, Consumers International Specialist for Fair Food Prices in Africa, Davin Minayo, who also described unfair food prices as a threat, emphasized the importance of a comprehensive evidence to drive the needed change and response.
One of the ways that we think will be important in addressing the issue of food prices is that we need to work especially with the competition authorities to make businesses comply and also improve regulation.
That's it for CNR Business. My name is Nashika Caesar.
And that's all we have for you on the Citi Newsroom. But before we go, let's have a recap of our headlines. Ghana Education Service shuts down Binduri Community Day Senior High School amid student protests over food shortage. Minority in Parliament calls for urgent reopening of Binduri Community Day Senior High School amidst a food crisis. Also, National House of Chiefs condemns LGBTQ+ activities and mobilizes opposition across traditional areas. President Akufo-Addo pays tribute to late author Amma Ata-Edu as literary icon in state burial service. Remember that our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Nana Tufo Boateng. Many thanks to you for watching.